Trevor Engelson's Meghan's first husband previously had this operation, which would mean, of course, that she was unable to give birth to a child herself.
She will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire.
The woman who convinced the world she was a victim has finally met her match. After years of silence, Trevor Engelson is done playing nice.
That information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, via an intermediary. And obviously Trevor Engelson is a very successful TV producer. He now has his own family. He's very happy. He hasn't spoken on the record. A moment where Megyn Kelly reveals that Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
The Hollywood producer who knew Meghan before the titles, before the tears, and before the carefully orchestrated royal exit is finally speaking. And what he's revealing will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about the Duchess of Sussex.
Narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. Yeah. The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends, while she never stops whining. And at the same time, I'm getting all worked up. I'm a founder.
This isn't just another celebrity scandal. This is the unraveling of the most calculated performance in modern royal history. For over a decade, Trevor Engelson played the gentleman. While his ex-wife transformed herself from struggling actress to global phenomenon, he stayed quiet. No interviews, no tell-all books, no desperate attempts to cash in on his connection to royalty. But something changed. Trevor recently welcomed his third child with wife Tracy Kurland, building the family life he always wanted. Maybe it's fatherhood that finally gave him the courage to speak. Or maybe he's simply tired of watching lies become accepted truth. Either way, the floodgates are open. And what's pouring out is darker than anyone imagined. Here's where things get absolutely explosive. According to sources close to Trevor, Meghan underwent a hysterectomy during their marriage. Think about what that means for a moment. If true, it would make natural pregnancy biologically impossible.
She's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. He was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight. You could live in a castle. You could have access to the crown jewels. You would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick.
Remember all those critics who questioned the gravity-defying baby bump? The way it seemed to shift and fold, the awkward positioning that never quite looked right? Suddenly, those observations don't seem so crazy anymore. The mainstream media dismissed these questions as cruel conspiracy theories. But Trevor's revelation suggests the skeptics might have been onto something all along. The timing of Meghan's pregnancy announcements wasn't coincidental. It was calculated. Remember when the palace staff started fleeing like it was the Titanic? When reports emerged about screaming matches and impossible demands? Right when the negative press reached its peak, boom, pregnancy announcement. Classic distraction tactics. According to Trevor, this pattern wasn't new. Whenever Meghan faced criticism or controversy, she'd drop a headline so wholesome it would completely redirect the narrative. That's not maternal instinct. That's PR genius. The woman who once struggled to book decent acting roles had mastered the art of public manipulation. Trevor describes an unsettling talent: Meghan's ability to cry on command.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was.
Not just a few tears, but full waterworks worthy of a daytime drama. No eye drops, no preparation, just instant emotional devastation whenever she needed sympathy. During their fights, mid-argument, she'd suddenly break down. The discussion would stop, Trevor would become the villain, and accountability would disappear under a pile of tissues. Think about that Oprah interview now. Those perfectly timed tears, the practiced vulnerability, the way she delivered each emotional beat. Was that raw honesty or rehearsed performance? Trevor suggests it was technique, not truth. The most chilling revelation involves long-term planning. Sources connected to Trevor claim Meghan had a vision board featuring Prince Harry before they ever met. She denied being interested in the royal family, but apparently she was studying them like a script. This wasn't a fairy tale romance, it was a strategic campaign. Every move calculated, every interaction planned. The girl who once held briefcases on game shows had set her sights on the ultimate prize, and she was willing to sacrifice everything to get it, including her marriage to Trevor. When Meghan was ready to move on, she didn't have a conversation. She didn't even send a text. She mailed her wedding ring back to Trevor, like returning a defective product. No explanation, no goodbye. Just a cold delivery that ended their marriage. This wasn't the action of someone who'd fallen out of love. This was the calculated move of someone who'd outgrown a stepping stone. Questions have even been raised about what happened to that engagement ring, with some speculating it was repurposed for her later jewelry collection. The brutality of that breakup set the pattern for everything that followed. Initially, the royals were charmed. Meghan was articulate, photogenic, and seemed genuinely committed to royal duties. But gradually, they began recognizing the same patterns Trevor had lived through. The constant media leaks that always benefited her narrative, the emotional manipulation, the way she'd flip between victim and hero depending on what the story required. They didn't exile her. They figured her out. The same performance that had fooled millions wasn't working on people who'd been dealing with media manipulation for generations. Trevor's revelations aren't about revenge, they're about truth. For years, the world only heard Meghan's carefully curated version of events. The glossy Netflix productions, the tearful interviews, the royal family portrayed as villains while she played the innocent victim. But Trevor knew her before the filters, before the titles, before the victim complex became her brand. His account is too specific, too detailed to be fabricated. If he's right, then we've all been watching the greatest royal con in history. The question isn't whether Meghan was mistreated by the palace, it's whether she manipulated everyone, including the crown itself, from day one. So what's the truth? Was Meghan Markle a woman crushed by an outdated institution? Or the master manipulator who outplayed everyone in the room? Are those children real, or the ultimate prop in a decade-long performance? Did she marry for love, or was Prince Harry just another item to check off her vision board? Trevor's silence protected her for years, but now that he's speaking, the carefully constructed narrative is crumbling. The woman who built her brand on authenticity might be the most inauthentic person in modern celebrity culture. And if that's the case, then everything we thought we knew about the royal family, the media, and the power of public sympathy needs to be reconsidered. The performance might be over, but the consequences are just beginning.